Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flake Show. My name is Chris Wong. Let's go through a little bit more updates for the Snyder Cut movement. Royal Wakefield at Royal Wakefield tweeted this out today. He said I was able to source 491 videos and 12 pictures from Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. I may not be them all as I may have missed some and others may still upload. Well done, everyone. So that is great. That's fantastic. 491 people had the courage enough to show themselves, to speak out to Warner Brothers, asking them to release the Snyder Cut. And I have seen them all. It's I've tried to retweet here and there, but there is a lot. There is plenty. I've seen on Facebook as well. So very proud of the movement, like I've said before, and hopefully we continue to go through that. And I know that people are still calling Warner Brothers, and then you're getting the operator, including folks like the Red Capes at Red Cape News. They're kind of a new Twitter handle, and a lot have been following them. They asked me to follow them, and I said, sure, yeah, why not? I'll follow you guys. They've also called the operator, including a lot of other people as well. And interestingly, the operator, I think the operator has, when it comes to the Snyder Cut, she kind of footsies around the whole thing, right? She says just the same things. She can't comment on it. Nobody can comment on anything until it comes out in the public trades, announced it publicly. Then they can comment on it maybe. And she also said that they're going through contractual negotiations, and they get these calls a lot. That when someone even mentions Justice League, she says it herself. Are you referring to Zack Snyder's director's cut? And so that's kind of good. Like we already know, they're very much aware, and it seems to me the same operator, her voice sounds the same in all these videos that people record. But it is interesting that she says contract negotiations. Some people even said that Ray Porter liked a post that had that in reference. Maybe they're getting contract renegotiating with the people that were cut from the movie and things such as that. That's the tinfoil hat now. That's the tinfoil hat. We're not really sure if that's what she means. She could just be saying this to kind of get off the phone. Or, if this was happening, there's a lot of things that could be in play, including things like contract negotiations. In a general sense, not exactly referring to Zack Snyder's director's cut of Justice League. So there's two ways you can look at that, however you see fit. And so it could lend to hope, and it could lend to just being aware that that they know. I think I like to think of it in terms like they know. They are very much aware of what's going on in social media, aware of our movement, aware of our wants and needs for, like in her terms, Zack Snyder's director's cut of Justice League, which I think is favorable for us. But the Red Capes at Red Cape News did something incredibly cool. They made it a top priority to address the concerns and comments of negativity in regards to people calling this operator. So they reached out to the operator, and they personally delivered some flowers, a gift, and a thank you card on behalf of them all. I'll link this little video to the description below so you guys can check it out. So good on you guys. Very classy of you guys. On the speaker, she sounded like she's really appreciative of that. And it's we kind of people who call in, and she's constantly trying to answer the Snyder Cut and things like that. It's got to be really hard. And if for operators and customer service, imagine getting that call every day and not being able to answer what you want to hear. I give a shout out to Red Capes, and also they're also starting another project. Comic Con is also putting together some type of gift basket. So if you are interested in giving a little bit to this awesome operator, I don't know her name, Jessica, Jennifer, something like that, or the personal assistant of Walter Hamada, please reach out at Will Rollins. And I think I got at Will Rollins. I'll put the link to wherever you to DM, direct message him at Will Rollins on Twitter. So click on that and message him if you are interested in giving a little bit something to this operator and to the personal assistant, but it seems like we got a little bit of that. The Red Capes also got maybe something a little bit about they cannot comment and say, but possibly towards after Endgame, maybe in May, late May or in June, there might be some more word on it. Louis Centeno, believe him or not, also says the same thing after Endgame. And it just seems logical in that sense. Not saying anything's going to happen. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying in logical sense right now, Hollywood in general and everybody in general, audience in pop culture right now, it's all about Endgame, about Avengers Endgame, right? So I thought that was kind of interesting. That's kind of cool. Even though the Release the Snyder Cut has pretty much entered pop culture, right? We had that gentleman who is the official linguist for Game of Thrones, and there was a video on IO9 where the first thing he translates into that. I forgot what that language in Game of Thrones, and it's Release the Snyder Cut. And that Release the Snyder Cut phrase is embedded in our pop culture, and it's according to IO9 video, and they may just be teasing us, but that's okay because we're being out in the mass media audience here. We're at that phrase is in the same sentence as live long and prosper, all these other wordings that you hear in pop culture, may the force be with you. That is kind of incredible hearing that coming from Game of Thrones, from this IO9 video, and saying, and they're titling it phrases in pop culture or something along those lines. So I thought that was kind of sweet. That was kind of cool. It shows how much appeal and how much we are being influential, and sometimes maybe in a negative way, but I'm hoping more in a positive way now as people are coming more aware of it. People are coming to understand it, hopefully, or even just really looking into it a little bit more. And hopefully, there may be a group of people who are working on and getting that in motion. I won't say anything until that group has come out, but they're gonna maybe try to put a light and shed new light on a Release the Snyder Cut movement, and so hopefully we'll see that soon. But in any case, AT&T is looking into something that's towards this early fall, and they're revealing their premium Warner Media streaming service will be coming out in early fall. This video service will be centered on HBO. As you know, HBO is all part of that. And so that is an interesting thing because of the previews of Disney Plus and Apple TV Plus. They got to really get in there. They're trying to be part of that game. They're trying to be part of the streaming services. And so they're really, really pushing that, which could be a good thing. As some have said before, including myself, what a better way to launch a streaming service than by adding another big thing to the library, such a thing as the Zack Snyder's director's cut of Justice League this fall. I mean, people have been saying November there could be something, and that's all rumor, but what a big way to do it, if they are ever going to do it, is to release that in the fall. Along as one of the launch titles for Warner Media's streaming service, or maybe later on or something like that, if it's not feasible to make a Blu-ray or put it back out in theaters. I personally prefer a theater at least, because I would love to see that in the theatrical sense. But if I'll take whatever we can get as long once they release it in any type of fashion. That is a huge win for artists and creative integrity everywhere, and hopefully that just spells as a beginning to see these other cuts, to see other directors get their way, to directors get to show their product that they want to show. And so really intrigued by this streaming service as a platform. So I'm wondering if there's something to that along the lines of as a platform to release the Snyder Cut on. That's my hopes and dreams anyway, or I guess that's my compromise, if you will, in a way. If it's not coming out in this towards of fashion, at least we get in that type of medium in any case. But what's also interesting is that, oh boy, it's hot today, but Joel L at Hybrid Lion, tweeted at me, and apparently Warner Brothers Entertainment and DC also just started following Variety. And apparently this just happened today, and I would say that is also very interesting if it's true. I haven't really looked into it, but I'm thinking it's pretty true, that they're suddenly sort of choosing Variety. Now it's not new that they've used Variety to publicly announce things in Warner Brothers or DC Films and stuff like that. It's nothing new. They've done it before. They either do that or Deadline or The Hollywood Reporter. But I'm thinking maybe they're just going to do Variety from now on. As you know, the Hollywood Reporter is pretty instrumental in exposing Kevin Tsujihara's scandal. So maybe they're not really too much in good terms with the Hollywood Reporter. I may be looking too much into that. But having them just start following Variety now, if you put your tinfoil hat on, maybe they're getting ready to announce some big news in terms of DC Films. And I only say DC Films because if it was just Warner Brothers, then it's not a big deal. But Warner Brothers Home Entertainment, and DC started following Variety, and I'm wondering why. And like I said, they've revealed things through Variety before, and maybe they're just choosing Variety as their public announcement platform from now on instead of THR and Deadline. But we'll see. We'll see what that has to do with that. So that is it pretty much for the Snyder Cut segment, and I want to go a little bit into the other thing that I really like, and that is Godzilla. So if you're not interested in this, then thanks for coming. But Godzilla fans, there is some hope that we'll get to see something more after Godzilla vs. Kong. As interestingly enough, the Hollywood Reporter has asked the new producer, legendary CEO Joshua Grode, about Godzilla a little bit. It's mostly about Pikachu and stuff like that, but this part was interesting. How far can you extend the Godzilla Kong Monsterverse movies? How much fuel is in the franchise? And he simply said, I hope a lot. I hope the gas tank is full. As we know, for people who have been following Godzilla King of the Monsters, and I really should be doing more videos of Godzilla because I really love Godzilla. It's one of my favorite things growing up, is that Mike Dory, he wants to go further. He wants to do other monsters. He wants to bring out more monsters and things like that. He wants to go into maybe even Godzilla versus Biollante one day, things like that. And so I'm really all for that. And hopefully this movie is good enough to warrant that. Hopefully it's successful. Godzilla King of the Monsters I'm talking about. Very successful so they can get to that point. And so I'm really interested and intrigued because he's such a lover of the old Godzilla films. And you can see it because Bear McCreary released, the studio released 2 tracks from Bear McCreary's soundtrack of Godzilla King of the Monsters. One of them is Old Rivals, which I'm assuming is Godzilla versus King Ghidorah. And you hear the taiko drums, and it's very almost like Naruto-esque, if you will, and you hear the old Godzilla themes within there, and it's beautiful. It's awesome. I also like Bear McCreary's when he did 10 Cloverfield Lane. That his music in there is such a great music that I have that soundtrack. So I was really already looking forward to this. They also had a kind of like a Godzilla, not the main theme song, but his theme song, the Go Go Godzilla, sang by a band. I can't pull it up right now, but a band member from somewhere, and it sounds really good. It has the taiko drums within it and stuff, and I listened many times today. I'm really digging the Godzilla soundtrack, and I'm really invested into the Godzilla King of the Monsters that's coming out. I got to see that 5-minute trailer, that 5-minute fight with Godzilla and Godzilla King Ghidorah ready to duke it out. Fan flippin' tastic. This movie is gonna be fan flippin' tastic. They already showed a premiere at Toho, I believe, or in Japan. Although the review embargo is not gonna be lifted until May 29th, nearly 2 days before its release. That can be a little concerning to me. Usually, if they're very confident, they release the embargo much earlier. But Wonder Woman was also released a couple days or even a day before as well. So I'm not that worried yet. I am, but not. So I don't know. Everything I'm seeing is completely fantastic. I know that Mike Doherty said he had a 3-hour cut, but they had to really trim it down because it wasn't getting to the monsters fast enough or something like that. But I'm just really looking forward to Godzilla King of the Monsters. Everything I'm hearing, everything I'm seeing, it looks fantastic, and it looks like to be probably the movie of the year for me. And you're like, really? Really? Godzilla King of the Monster? I'm like, yeah, because I'm a Godzilla fan, and I'm seeing this, and having Godzilla be like this type of hero, what it looked like to be in this movie. That's down my alley. I love that. I love that older Godzilla films where he was literally fighting for mankind. That type of Godzilla. I like the other evil Godzilla's way as well. But since we're going along this route, let's keep making more Godzilla versus Kong, Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. Godzilla versus Biollante, Hedorah. Throw Anguirus in there, King Caesar. Just throw. It'll be culminating into like a freaking Godzilla Endgame with Godzilla vs. Destroyer. Oh my, this will be like such a Godzilla fan's dream come true. So yeah, that I just had to throw that in there because I am a Godzilla fan. And that's it. Hopefully I have time to make another video tomorrow. I want to do a review of Avengers Endgame. I did get to watch it today, but I need to process it because it is something I need to process and think about before I am able to do a review on something like that. So that is it for tonight. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.